Now I want to show you the very basics of how to build up both throw-up letters, but also super important to know when you're building piece letters, and that is the log rule. So the log rule is to, instead of you having to do what I just showed you before, like making the capital letters, turning them into these, like taking the outline so it will look like this. Sometimes you can lose the overview, then you can use something called the log rule. And the log rule is basically dividing each letter into logs that will make the letter in the end. So if I'm just making these 3 logs here, this will actually become the H if I'm just taking the outline from there. Because sometimes you will find yourself making, let's say you have made an A that looks like this. And then you're starting to analyze it, and then it becomes a little bit unlogical because, okay, this one is fine because this could just be a log that looks like this. But then there's this one. This should actually be this one down here because you want the A to be able to look like this one, because this log that are running down here should have the same angle, but this one is going this way now and this one is going here. So it's like it doesn't make sense logically. Of course you can do this because there are no rules in graffiti, and that is also what, like, the great thing about graffiti is that you can do whatever you want. But if you want to understand it theoretically correct, which I would recommend you to do in the beginning, because then you can always screw with the rules afterwards, then it's a good idea to use the log rule. And for that, I recommend you just taking some matches. Like from these matches, you should try to build up letters. So for instance, if I want to build a capital I, then I could just do like this. Then I can just take the outline from it. Like that. Then I know it's correct. Of course this is a bit skewed, but you get the point. The same with the A. I can also just build an A like this. Then once I'm drawing this, I have the same distance to the matches at all times. So this one would be correct theoretically, because we have this one that are actually going this way. We have this one going up here and up here. So by having the log rule in mind, we are always making correct letters. So this is a really, really nice way of doing some letters. But then you might wonder, like, okay, there are some of the letters that are actually skewed, or like that are round in their shapes. So for instance, the G, if I'm making a G, it will probably look like this. And like, is this, like, this is not a straight letter, or like this is not a straight block. But this, in my world, when I'm like trying to make these shapes, I'm just thinking about, okay, we have this log that are getting bent more and more. And then at the end, it looks like this. And then we're having the extra one that are just added on top of it. So now it ends up looking like this. This could be a G, right? So just think of this one as one log that has been like bent. For this exercise, I want you to practice the log rule. So I want you to choose 5 different letters and then make each letter using the log rule. 5 different letters using the log rule and 1 tag using the log rule. Go.